Ever since Trump took office, his love and appreciation for our military personnel has been on full display, a drastic change from Obama, who reduced our Marines to his umbrella holders, personal servant boys. After Obama ran on the promise to fix the VA, then went on to let a vast number of our veterans die waiting on care, President Trump is finally stepping in to fix the VA once and for all. And what just took place at the White House overnight for those who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom is putting a giant smiles on the faces of our veterans, while making Hussein Obama look like an even bigger jerk, if that's even possible. Obama's nasty treatment towards our military was outrageous. Not only did he change our military's rules of engagement, making it virtually impossible for our soldiers to defend themselves against the enemy, but he gutted our military to pre-World War II capabilities as well. Add treason on top of his antics, where he emptied out Gitmo and put our biggest enemies of Iran on a path to a nuclear weapon, and it's plain to see why most veterans want to punch through a wall anytime they see Obama's smug mug appear on television. But Obama's biggest slap in the face to our veterans came after he promised to fix the VA, only to let things get drastically worse for our veterans. Throughout 8 years of Hussein Obama's regime, hundreds of thousands of veterans would go on to be forgotten, dying while waiting to be treated at VA hospitals across the nation. But thank our lucky stars that we finally have a commander-in-chief who gives a flying crap about our veterans and isn't in bed with Muslim terrorists. President Trump is not only fixing the VA that Obama failed to do, but is making Obama's corrupt VA officials pay the ultimate price for their negligence. In a clean sweep that happened in the overnight hours, it's being reported that 500 VA employees have just been terminated, and an additional 200 have been suspended for their shady conduct. The Gateway pundit reported, the Department of Veterans made public a list of employee terminations, demotions, and suspensions. It has expressed that this list will be updated weekly in an effort to add more transparency to the department following Congress's push to increase the scope of power by the VA Secretary. President Trump expressed his frustration with the VA back on the campaign trail, stating that the VA was probably the most incompetently run agency in the United States. The bulk of firings were directed at lower-level VA workers, such as housekeepers and food service workers, after learning that initial oversight was not implemented. Many of these employees were discovered to be felons, sex offenders, or generally incompetent. This has led to poor care, and at times death from neglect, for our veterans. U.S. President Donald Trump awards a Purple Heart to Army Sergeant First Class Alvaro Barrientos at Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Bethesda, Maryland, U.S., April 22, 2017. Reuters, Yuri Grippas, VA Secretary David Shulkin said in a written statement that he is doing everything to hold VA employees accountable and will now make the actions of all employees transparent to taxpayers, as they have the right to know what is going on. The Stars and Stripes reports that a list was posted online over the weekend containing the date and type of disciplinary actions for the 800 employees that President Trump is cracking down on. President Trump meeting with VA Secretary David Shulkin, Stars and Stripes reported, veterans and taxpayers have a right to know what we're doing to hold our employees accountable and make our personnel actions transparent, VA Secretary David Shulkin said in written statement. Posting this information online for all to see, and updating it weekly, will do just that. The list, posted online Friday, contained the occupation, VA region, the date and type of disciplinary action for approximately 800 VA employees disciplined since January 20. For privacy reasons, the VA is not posting employees' names. The initiative is part of the new VA Office of Accountability and Whistleblower Protection that Trump created in April with an executive order. Navy and Air Force veteran Peter O'Rourke is directing the office and advising Shulkin on the discipline of VA managers and employees. Shulkin gained more firing authority after Trump signed legislation June 23 establishing more repercussions and a faster firing process for VA employees. Trump, Shulkin, and many veterans and supporters of the legislation said the new rules would allow the VA to root out poor-performing employees and a perceived culture of corruption in the department. The look on my face every day when I wake up and realize President Trump is president. Thank God we finally have a commander-in-chief. WHO genuinely cares about our troops, unlike the jerk WHO spent the past 8 years furthering the Islamic agenda. If you're happy as a hippo that Obama is gone, be sure to hit the share button on this article and spread the wonderful news about what President Trump is doing for our veterans.